All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of the NVO Podcast. I'm your host, Jaron, alongside your co-host, Tymesis, a.k.a. Ty. He told me to stop calling him that, so from now on, we're going to call him Ty. Anyways, welcome to the third episode. Make sure that you like, subscribe, repost, and honestly speaking, just follow us on all types of platforms. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on TikTok. You can also follow us on YouTube. Also subscribe on YouTube and also follow us on Twitch. We are now currently live streaming on Twitch. And, you know, right now we're just getting things up.
It's up there.
Little by little. Every week is always something new. But thank you for joining in on the third episode. We appreciate y'all. And just so y'all know, Osiris is behind the mic. And he will be talking with us because he made a special guest appearance on the last episode. And now he'll be coming on consistently more often. So appreciate y'all. Hope y'all week is going well. But we have a lot to get into. Currently, NBA is now going into the playoffs, and seeding has been already settled as of yesterday. And now we get to see who faces who within the first round. We also get to talk about who will be the upsets, who will also be going past the first round. And we got a lot to talk about in college hoops, the current NCAA champions for the men's and women's league. And yeah, just a lot going on within the basketball realm and the landscape. So first things first, let's talk about the seeding within the West and the East. First seed within the West is Oklahoma City, as you know. Second seed ended up being the Houston Rockets. Third seed ended up being the Lakers. Fourth seed ended up being the Nuggets. The fifth seed were the Clippers. Sixth seed is Minnesota. And in the play-in, you have Golden State and you have Memphis. On the East side, you have obviously the Cavs first, Celtics second, Knicks third. If I'm not mistaken, is Indiana fourth or fifth?
Fourth, Indiana, Bucks fifth,
Right.
Pistons sixth,
Right.
Magic seventh, and then the
Hawks are eighth.
and then you still got the play-in tournament that's going to determine the final 8 seeds.
Yes, sir.
You got Bulls versus Heat, Magic versus the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
In the West, you got Memphis against the Warriors and
I can't wait for that. That's
Sacramento
gonna be
against
great.
Dallas. You know, like, I love betting NBA playoffs. Like,
What app do you use, by the way?
FanDuel.
Okay, same over here. If you use DraftKings or any other Fanatics, anything like that, y'all can use that as well.
I like DraftKings.
Stealing your money.
Yeah, they are stealing money.
I prefer the undercover books, if you ask. But I don't use them.
Keep it PG.
Nah, but honestly, like this might be the year that you see like the most amount of upsets. Well, quote unquote upsets, because the lower seeds really have some potential to upset some of the higher seeds.
Right.
Like both of the one and the 2 seed in the West are pretty young teams. They're really talented, but they're gonna go up against maybe an experienced Memphis team or the Warriors against Houston, which honestly, like I think both of those teams could upset the 1 and 2 seeds.
Facts.
And even in the East, like the Celtics and Cleveland are gonna beat whoever they play.
You sure?
I think the
I'm not
Celtics
sold
are
on
the best
Cleveland.
team.
I'm really not sold on them.
Yeah, but I don't know who could beat them. I don't know if the Hawks have the talent to beat them. I don't know if Orlando has the talent to beat them.
Orlando took them 7 games last year, but that was with Jalen Suggs, man. If they had Suggs this year, I'll be honest. I'll
on
take
top of that, you
Orlando.
gotta wait until like to see who was actually playing those dudes. But like even like in the East, like that 4-5 matchup, I think with Dame, I think the Pacers definitely lose in the first round. I think the Bucks beat them.
Yeah.
But even without him, Giannis is the way I always look at playoff series is like, damn, who has the best player on the court? And I'm wearing my Knicks sweater because I want the Knicks to succeed. But that boy, Cade Cunningham,
And they lucky
he is tough.
Listen, they lucky Ivy's not playing. He's out for the season because if Ivy was playing, it'd be a different type of ball game.
And the crazy part is, like, you could argue that Cade might be the 3rd or 4th best player in the East. Like, that's crazy.
Hold on, wait.
He's definitely the best player in that series.
So hold on, wait. You said
Wait.
Fourth best
Kate
player in
Cunningham
the
is
East.
best player.
Fourth best player in the East.
No, he
That's what
said he's the best player
I
in the
said the
series.
3rd. Oh, yeah. He's the best player in the Knicks versus Detroit series.
Bro, we just
There's
started
no
filming, bro.
question about it. There's no question. Well, Jalen Brunson's better than him?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
You would want Jalen Brunson on your team instead of Cade?
Yes, 100%.
Have you
I
seen Jalen
love
Brunson in the
Jalen
playoffs?
Brunson. But yeah, Chad, Yeah, I tried it.
What is it that Cade Cunningham does? That's different
Everything.
from Brunson. Like
Everything.
what?
Everything.
What?
First of all,
He doesn't score better than him. Just so you know.
he definitely scores better.
How?
And he's way in the playoffs. Yo, it's
This
been
is first
shown,
year in the playoffs.
If you see right, Jalen Brunson, every time he goes into some of these series, he has bigger people guarding him. Cade Cunningham is 6'6", 6'7". You can't put a bigger defender on him. He's good. He's the best player in that series.
Brother, he's never been in any type of playoff series until
It
right
doesn't
now.
matter.
So we have to see how it
If
does
you
matter. What
watch,
are you talking
if you watching the games, you gonna tell me that you think that Jalen Brunson is better than Cade Cunningham?
Yes, he is 100%.
That's
without a doubt.
crazy. That's
a doubt.
crazy.
As of now, yes,
doubt.
but
He
potential.
is not better than him. Like you, if the Knicks and the Pistons GM were talking, they were like, if the Knicks was like, hey, let's switch Jalen Brunson for Cade, the Pistons GM would be like, what do you think I am, Nico Williams?
That's what he'll say. That's what he'll say.
That's exactly what he was saying. You think I'm Nico?
Okay. So you're telling me that you'll take Cade Cunningham right now?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Like no doubt in my mind that I would.
So Cade this year averaged 26.1 points, 9.1 assists, 6.1 rebounds in 70 games that he played this season. He also shot 47% from the field and 36% from the three-point line, while also shooting 85% from the free throw line. Not bad
You're
stats
giving
at
me
all.
too many statistics. I know it's
Not
called
bad
number.
stats at all.
Over.
Not bad stats at
So
all.
he had more points per game, more assists, more
Also,
more
gotta
rebounds.
Jalen Brunson did miss games this season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
also-
but it's by
65
average. I'm not telling you.
He's also
anything
playing.
else.
He's also playing with a new core.
Exactly.
So
Not only that,
You're more-
you brought in Karl Anthony Towns, who is actually supposed to be
Yeah.
a one or a two.
you're spreading the ball more across the team.
Cunningham is on the team where they all know that's his
He's
team.
taller than him. He's more athletic than him. He's a better basketball player.
Okay, but he's never had experience in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That's cool.
He's
You
still
can
young.
say
That's
that.
not cool.
But in this series, he's the best player.
How?
He is better than Jalen
The
Brunson.
series hasn't even started, and
He
you're already
is better than
anointing
Jalen Brunson.
a first-year
I'm-
player
the
in
Knicks
the
are gonna-
playoffs,
the-
not
the
first-year
Knicks-
player.
the Knicks-
First year in the playoffs, and you're saying he's going to be better than Jalen Brunson,
I'm
who's
saying-
been to a Western Conference Final.
I'm saying that. I'm not saying that he's gonna play better. I'm saying that he is better, but he is gonna play better than him. And listen. The Knicks are
Take
gonna.
this off. Why are you wearing
The
this?
Knicks are gonna win the series.
Word.
The Knicks
You're
are
a
gonna win
fake
the
Knicks
series.
fan.
I'm not a fake Knicks
Yeah,
fan,
you are.
but I'm not delusional either.
I'm
No,
not
it's
even
just
a
thing
Knicks
about-
fan, and I know Jalen Brunson is a better player than Cade Cunningham in the playoffs.
God.
Yes, it is. It's been a proven fact. Last year, if they would have had Julius Randle, they would have beat the Pacers and went to the Eastern Conference Finals. If he doesn't break his hand, they end up going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's fine. They would have done the same thing with Cade Cunningham.
You don't even believe that. You just
yes.
rage baiting.
Yeah, I am not. He's the top 5 player in the Eastern Conference right now.
Nope. So hold on, wait. So is he better than Tatum?
No.
Is he better than Jalen Brown?
No.
Is he
not
better
right
than,
now?
Is he
But
better, hold on.
but-
I'm not done. I'm not done.
but-
I'm not done. I'm not done. Is he
Continue.
better than Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Nope.
Is he better than Dame Lillard?
Yes.
No.
He is better than Dame right now.
Oh my
He
God.
is way better than
All
Dame
all
right now.
Is he better than Donovan Mitchell?
Oof. That's the 4th. That's it. That's it.
That's
Who else?
5, by the way. but-
No, it's not.
All right, cool. So you're saying he's better than Dame Lillard?
He's better than Dame.
Okay, and you saying he's already better
I'll
than
take him
Jalen
right
Brunson?
now over Dame.
You say he's better than Jalen Brunson?
Yes, for sure. For sure. And honestly, like, yo, he's getting closer, man. Next year, he might be a top 10 player in the league.
I have high upside for Cade Cunningham. I think
Yo,
he's a
you
great
want to know
talent.
the craziest part is
What
that
he's saying right now, out of this world. By the way, he didn't drink. He didn't smoke nothing, ladies and gentlemen. He's 100% sober.
Nah, I'm dead ass though. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm so serious. He's the best player in that series. And you know what's crazy? Like, the Pistons are plus 360 to beat the Knicks in this series.
Because they
I don't think
have
so.
experience.
I think the Knicks win. The Knicks win in 6.
6, yes, yeah.
But like, no, Detroit got some players. They're physical. They play good defense, and they have the best player in the series. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous series for the Knicks.
All right.
If you told me like, would you be surprised if the Pistons beat the Knicks?
I wouldn't.
Exactly. Why? Because they got the best player.
No, the only reason why I say that is because
And they
the
lock up.
The Knicks as a team do not look like they have great enough chemistry. Not only that, it looks like they kind of tired of rocking with Thibodeau. There's no way a first-year player, Mikal Bridges, comes on to the season and he's the one to speak up about the workload that they had to endure and the minutes that they had to keep on getting. High minutes on top of that in regular season games when you know in the playoffs, we need more minutes out of you.
Out of all the lower seeds, the Pistons are the scariest team. Like, that's the team that people probably did not want to face.
On the East.
In the East, yeah.
So
in the West?
Hold on. So you're telling me no other team in the East wanted to face the Pistons? So if the Celtics would have faced the Pistons?
Nah, they would have gotten swept. Swept. But nobody wants to play them. They're gritty. They play good defense. They're tough. They're tough.
Besides Cunningham, who else is their best player? Ivy's hurt.
Nah,
Duren?
Duren.
I like Duren.
Tough. Double machine.
Like, he's not even the second best player within that series. He's not even the second best player within that series.
Nah, that's cool. The Knicks got the second and the third best player in that series.
Bro, their third best player is Malik Beasley.
Sword Thompson.
He led the league in threes?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Ant did.
Search it up.
Ant did.
Search it up.
Ant on the last game.
No
Ant
way.
did. Yes, he did. He ended up leading it. He's the youngest player in history to lead the league in threes.
Nah.
I just saw it. That stat.
Malik wasn't even
That's why it's numbers
starting.
versus opinions.
Yo, Malik Beasley wasn't even starting and he did that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm talking about 3-point field goal mains.
Yep.
Let's see. So Anthony Edwards leads the league
Told you.
currently by 1-3.
He made 10. Yo, he made 10 in his last game, yo. You saw what Malik Beasley told him on Twitter. He was like, yo, you got to make 10 threes to beat me.
Exactly.
No, he said, no, you got to make 7 threes to beat me.
That's exactly what he did.
He made 10.
He actually leads.
Yo, he's
Jordan-esque.
He's one of the best competitors in the NBA.
100% is. 100%.
He is one of the best.
But all right, so you got the Knicks winning, but you won't be surprised if Detroit wins, which I won't be surprised either.
I think it's gonna be a close series.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think it'd be like
honestly, like
Philly.
if I'm the Knicks, like I'm scared. Like I would have rather faced the Pacers. I think.
Hell no.
Or Orlando.
The problem is
or
with you
Atlanta.
guys is you can't say the Knicks are scared because if they go into a playoff, they gotta beat anybody.
I never said it. I
Not
never said
only
it
that,
scared.
They gotta
The
beat
Knicks-
anybody they get their hands on.
And they playing at the Garden. They're not losing.
I never
They're
said
not
they
losing
was
at the
scared.
Garden.
Who they should be afraid of is Boston and
Of course.
Cleveland because they haven't even beaten them.
I love the Knicks. They are not beating Boston.
Kind of crazy considering
not lying,
last year they were 3-1 against.
It sounds crazy to say, but I wish we would have low key like ducked them into the conference finals. Like, you do not want like the games haven't even been closed.
Yeah,
like,
but then
like
if
the
you
games
don't-
are over in the first half.
But hold on, if you don't face Boston, then you got to face Cleveland. So it's like a damn.
I would rather face. I would rather face Cleveland.
Hell no.
Nah.
Because with Boston, yeah,
You know what it is that this is the thing, right? Cleveland and Cleveland matches up well against Boston. Like Boston doesn't match up well against Cleveland, but they could beat
The crazy
them.
part about it is if the Knicks makes it to the Eastern Conference Final and face the Celtics, that's basically their finals.
Literally, that is their final. Let me not say that because in the West,
Now
we
they're
still
the
haven't
third
talked about
seed
what's
right
going
now,
on
so they would face them in the second round.
I'm saying
That's
it. Yeah, but I'm
it's a
saying
tough sucker.
He's saying that would be the Knicks'
possibility.
finals.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to tell him if they were to face whoever's in the West, it's not going to be a walk in the park. Because
No,
you
definitely
beat
not.
Boston. Now you're going to have to face a juggernaut in the West. And literally 1 through 8 is
The
juggernaut.
West is loaded. Like,
Right.
Like the 1 and the 2 seed could both lose their playoff series, and nobody would be surprised.
Right. Nobody's going to sit there and be like, damn, I ain't see that happen.
What I want to see more than anything, my favorite matchup in the first round of the playoffs is going to be Shea against Ja. Because if you go back a couple years ago, Ja was the man.
Yeah.
Like, people thought that Ja was going to be that next guy.
Gritty in on everybody.
And
He's throwing grenades now.
He's throwing grenades. And now Shea kind of like took over that spot. He's going to win the MVP this year. Like, now this is Ja's time to prove something.
Not even prove, but to remind everybody, remember who was here before everything. And I'm going to be real, it's going to be an Aura versus Aura matchup. That's going to be great. You're going to see American Aura versus Canadian Aura.
American Aura against Canadian Aura is
We're gonna
crazy.
show you why we got no healthcare.
Exactly. We're going to show you why, you know what, the gun issues out here in America are more than you know, how they are in Canada. But...
It's crazy because that's not even going to be the matchup that decides that series. It's going to
What
be
you think it's gonna
Jaren Jackson against Chet. That's
You think
that
so?
matchup.
I think it's going to be Bane versus Williams.
Oof.
I think that's how it's gonna go. Too. Shooter versus
Damn,
a
that
lockdown
series.
defender.
That series is gonna be so tough.
Right, and that's just one versus 8. We haven't even talked about 2 versus 7, where it's the Rockets versus the Warriors.
Yeah.
That right there is gonna be an issue for Steph because not only do you have Dylan Brooks guarding you got Thompson guarding you. You got Green guarding you. You know what I mean? Like you even have a dude that knows how to play against you in the 2019 finals in Fred VanVleet, who he got experience against them.
I think the Warriors take that series though.
You think so? Also, also too, another thing that people are forgetting. Remember, Ime Udoka coached against that team in the 2022 finals.
Yeah.
So he's gonna know certain plays and certain sets that they're gonna run for Steph.
That's how I think it goes in the West. I think OKC wins. I think if the Warriors play Houston, the Warriors win. Then I'll take the Lakers over the Timberwolves, and then I'll take the Clippers over Denver.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not like
You think-
Kawhi Leonard is back. He's playing like as good as he's ever played.
Just a
Better than
sign.
2019?
Not there yet, but he's like if he beats. They could go on a run because I also got the Clippers beating OKC. If the Clippers face OKC is not ready for that smoke.
Just a side note, OKC against Memphis in the last 5 games.
Damn.
OKC has won all 5.
So, I bet. So, if the Clippers beat OKC, the Lakers beat the Warriors, it's an all LA conference finals.
Do me a favor, can you look up the record of Houston versus Golden State? Let me know how that looks. Because the last game that Golden State faced them, Steph Curry only had 3 points. He shot 1 for 10.
Yo, and the 3 that he made was like right before halftime. It was a
So
crazy
he would have went
shot.
scoreless, and everybody here sits here and they rave whenever Steph goes on a 50-point barrage, 40-point barrage. But when he gets some 3-point barrages,
you know what
nobody's
it is?
saying a word about
It's
it.
that experience. Like that experience counts for something.
So this season, the 5 games that the Warriors and Houston has played, Warriors have won 3 and the Rockets have won 2.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But back to what you said, though. You said that you have the Clippers being the Nuggets. So do you think that the Clippers will get, their get back from what happened back in 2020 in a bubble?
Yeah.
After losing a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, they collapse. But like the thing is that like it's all about like the role players, and I'm not lying that the Clippers are stacked. Like they got Norman Powell, James Harden, Zubac, and Kawhi. Like that is tough.
All right, let's be honest.
And Denver is spiraling. They just fired their coach that won them a chip 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
how you fire the guy who got you a chip 2 years ago?
I didn't want to get into that just
That is crazy. Right before the playoffs.
But hold on, wait.
You're already there, so might as well.
Yeah, we already there. But before,
Like you
before we
firing
get
your
into
coach before the playoffs? That what are you doing?
Hold on, wait. To play devil's advocate though, right, for the Clippers. Granted, yes, the Clippers have looked great. They've been 18-3 within their last 21 games. They look amazing. Like you said, Kawhi's back in his peak form. The issue isn't the fact of whether or not the Clippers are a great team. The issue is, are they going to be healthy come the playoff series? One, we've seen Kawhi
they're healthy
Leonard.
right now.
Hold on. Let me finish.
And they're plus money.
Kawhi
Plus
Leonard
102.
in all of his playoff series, every time he's came back, he's hurt himself and hasn't been able to finish a playoff series within the last 3-4 years. You know,
Nah,
right?
but those series he went into the playoffs unhealthy.
No, he wasn't.
For most of them.
No, he wasn't.
But honestly,
21, he was healthy, and then towards
I'm
ACL.
saying if he's healthy and like they're healthy, that's a lot of talent. Like they got James Harden, Norman Powell,
Stop
Kendrick
saying James
Nunn.
Harden, please. That's another
James
choke artist.
Harden
He's
is
a choke
still-
artist in the play.
He's a
James,
bucket.
I'm a fan of yours, but you are a choke artist you are Aaron Judge in the fucking playoffs. All right?
Hey.
Yeah, deny it. Deny it.
Why is Aaron Judge catching stray bullets?
Because they're so
That's
great in the
crazy.
regular season, but when the playoffs come, they are a shell of themselves. James Harden, since his Houston days, has always shown that. Even when he was in Philly, he did the same thing.
He gave the Warriors with KD the best series. He did not. He was up 3-2 on them.
And what happened in the last game? 0 for 27
I'm not saying that
on the 3-point line. Why couldn't he close?
I'm not saying it's easier to say he's a choke artist, but he's gone on some runs.
So let me ask you something. When he faced the Celtics and Tatum dropped 50, how much did he have that game?
When he was in Brooklyn?
No. When he was in Philly.
Oh, nah. Philly James Harden was bad.
What are you talking about? He had 2 40-point games, but when it was time to close, he couldn't close in Game 6 after having a 3-2 lead. They sold in the house. It wasn't just him, but it was Embiid, but majority him. And then Game 7 came. He didn't even hit double-digit points.
Nah, but that's fine. You know, the thing that I like the most about this version of James Harden is he does not have to be the guy. Like, they already have a guy. And they have a good supporting cast around him. Like, Zubats, Norman Powell, Kawhi. Like, that's around a good, healthy James Harden. That's a lot.
I'm not sold.
Nah, you could not be sold. I mean, they still got to show. Everybody got to show me. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. There's no more, this guy does this guy does that. No, like, it's the playoffs. You got to show up.
Listen,
you got to show up.
When it comes to James Harden, I'll never trust him, honestly speaking. James Harden, to me, is like that one person that's like, I swear to God, I'm going to pay you back. I got a job tomorrow. And then ends up not paying you back and then comes back a year later like, yo, bro, I promise everything is right back to where it is, bro. I got you. That's what James Harden reminds me of. And Kawhi, he reminds me of a father that says, I'm going to pick up my son and doesn't show up. Doesn't show up at all. He's one of them, all right?
These analogies are crazy.
I'm just saying, it's real. It's real out here. In 21, Kawhi tore his ACL. Wasn't on him. It happens. It is what it is. 2023, you come back against the Suns, win one game, tear your meniscus. Last year, he ends up playing 68 games. Comes into the playoff series, knees busted up. But guess what? He was out there training for the USA Olympics trying to get a gold medal, wasn't he? All I'm saying is show up when it matters. And if they do,
all I gotta say is none of this matters. Lakers in 5.
Yeah, that's a fact. Lakers in 5. But
Lakers in 5.
You did bring up Malone, and I did want to touch up on that. So if nobody knows or if anybody is not up to date, Coach Mike Malone ended up getting fired by the Nuggets 3 games before the playoffs started. Granted, they were on a 4-game losing streak. They went from the 2nd seed all the way dropped down to the 4th seed, actually 5th seed, and then jumped back up to the 4th seed after they fired Mike Malone. But how do you feel?
Before the playoffs is just insane.
Like how do you feel about that?
Nah,
one?
like,
and then 2, do you think that this helps and motivates Denver, or do you think that this actually makes them?
Nah, from everything that they've said, it was kind of like issues that have been brewing for a while. But right, like you got time for that. Like you had off seasons, you had the All-Star break, like firing your coach.
Oh, and they fired the GM
and the GM. The GM doesn't matter right now, just because, like, honestly, like you went into the playoffs.
Does matter.
It definitely does.
Yeah, but it's not like you're gonna make any acquisitions right before the playoffs. Like I'm talking about going into the playoffs. But you firing your coach like before the playoffs, like not even like a couple of weeks, a month, like bro, like. Like,
yeah, straight up, you just
like a couple of days before the playoffs start.
The thing is, when you fire a GM, even if you just fire the GM,
that's fine. Yeah. It wouldn't have mattered if they would have fired the GM now or next or 3 weeks from now.
It's a different feeling than just keeping him on and then fire him at the end of the season.
Right.
Which makes a lot more sense than just firing both of them at the same time.
Exactly.
It means something behind the closed door happened between the owners or some executives there.
Or if not, some players were there. Because
firing
there's just
him
no way you just fire
couple
both
of
of them at the
days
same time.
before.
We're about to get messy right now because apparently some of the reasonings as to why Mike Malone was let go was because some of the players expressed their disdain and their dislike for the fact that Malone was showing a lot of favoritism towards not only Murray and Jokic, but towards Russell Westbrook, who just got there this year, hadn't won a championship with them, wasn't around them when, they were in the trenches and losing in the first round, second round, and now he's getting all this type of love and adulation from a coach who at the end of the day, they felt like Russell Westbrook's career was already ending. So the fact that, Coach Malone was relying heavily on him and not Pickett and everybody else on the bench, it became an issue. So how do you feel about that? Do you think that they're using Russ as a scapegoat like how they did in L.A., or do you think it's justifiable?
It is not justifiable. But
Russ, just know you going after this season.
Right? He's not staying in a Mile High City, bro.
But still, I also look bad because Russ had some bad games down the stretch, blowing layups,
He blew
fouling.
Yeah.
It didn't look good. But at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a former MVP and stuff. So that guy gets a little bit more respect than the dude that went to Sacramento State for 6 years. Mm-hmm. He has history. He's a proven NBA veteran. If you telling me you're gonna pay this guy that's been in the league for 2 years but hasn't proven anything, we want to take the chance with Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna pick Russell Westbrook.
Playing devil's advocate, Pickett was actually pretty nice though.
Nah, I'm not arguing that he's not.
He actually dropped.
But I understand why they be I trust veterans. A lot of coaches don't especially on playoff teams, they don't like playing young players. They don't trust them. They haven't built.
Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau don't trust anybody but that starting 5. He'll be
Coach Mike
48
Brown.
minutes.
If you have the first overall pick as a Knicks fan, And Tom Thibodeau will not play that first overall pick at all unless he understands how to play defense.
Literally, that's it.
But
That's
anyways,
all it is.
Nah, so the Knicks can't get Cooper Flag though.
he's not playing.
But nah, so you saying that it wasn't Russell Westbrook's fault. It wasn't on him. But
Nah,
it's just
there
looking
definitely
like right
had
now-
to be personality issues. Like somebody did something to somebody.
But
like,
not only that, though, not only did he catch a stray from the players that he's in the locker room with every day, he caught a stray from James Harden as well, too. And James Harden was recently in the media saying that, you know what, this year has been flowing way better. And it's been a better environment being a Clipper because there aren't certain players that aren't there no more. Now, he didn't name who it was. Obviously, Paul George left. Russell Westbrook left. Terrence Mann is no longer there as well either. But when you hear stuff like that, do you think that, you know what, maybe Russ should start looking at retirement? Maybe he should go back to OKC, where it all started. Or maybe, you know what?
OKC is not signing him. If OKC is gonna bring back an old player, it's gonna be
Kevin
KD.
Durant.
I'm not like KD on OKC.
I mean, Russell Westbrook is still 36.
That's what I'm saying. Russell Westbrook off the
Nah, he's still he's gonna be playing for somebody.
A year or two more. You know?
He said, Utah, welcome Russell Westbrook.
Nah, an NBA team is definitely gonna sign him. He got the experience.
But do
and
you think that
everything.
he'll still be getting signed to a contender, though?
Like Dak Prescott, find a new realtor, Russell Westbrook.
That's how I was looking.
Nah,
Get out of there.
I don't know. It will have to be the right fit. That's the problem with Westbrook. He doesn't fit on every team. Like there's certain people that he won't
Yeah,
match up
I
with.
don't see him fitting on the Celtics.
Unless you bring him in to mentor point guard.
Which is
guard.
why I'm saying if he goes to OKC, it could help.
Not necessarily.
Bro, you give them that dog. Because to me, honestly, OKC really lacks the experience, but they also lack, I don't know, for some reason. They don't strike me as a team where I sit there and I'm like, yo, I fear them.
Not yet.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You bring Russ there,
So
Russ going to
young.
put the dog in them.
Nah,
That's just what it
OKC might be a player away, but they also might win the championship. So it's like it could go. It could go either way.
Don't at this
Yeah.
point. That's how it is. But
Nah, but they got so many assets.
Imagine
They play
KD
so
goes
many
back to
people.
OKC.
that's what we were talking about. So
Yo, that
that
would-
is the next topic that I did want to get
Nah,
into.
we can't talk about those topics yet. We gotta see how these series plays off.
All right, you right.
He said he want to clip it for
My bad.
Future episodes.
My bad for getting ahead of myself. So we did talk about the 4 and the 5 matchup, the 3 and the 6 matchup between the Lakers and Minnesota. How do you think that will play out? Obviously, we're gonna be a little bit biased.
Nah, I'm not biased. The Lakers are gonna win the championship. I'm not biased at all. Nah, I'm kidding.
I didn't want to say that.
Nah, I think the Lakers are going to the finals.
of course, two LeBron fans.
Nah, you know what it is? It's not like
Two
every
LeBron
series that they play in, they're gonna have 2 of the top 3 players in.
And if one of them is off,
And they might have, and in some series they might have the first or the second best player. Like in a playoff series right now, who you taking, LeBron or Shea?
I mean, for experience, you're going with LeBron, of
Come
course.
on now.
But in terms of
In a playoff series-
who's the better player now? It's Shea.
In a playoff series, he's not better though.
Huh?
In a playoff series, he's not
I
better.
mean, of course.
And in a playoff series, who you taking, Shea or Luka?
no, you taking Luka for sure.
exactly.
But
what I'm saying.
but hold up.
If they play the Warriors,
Unless Shea goes on a magical run where he's scoring 35,
That's cool. You could do that. You
wins
still need your
multiple
teammates.
series, goes to the Western Conference
Aight.
You
Finals,
still need your teammates.
and or potentially go to the finals, then you can't say.
You still need
I know,
teammates
of course,
to
of
balance
course.
everything out.
every single team in the West, if you played the Lakers in a playoff series, every team except for one could say that they have the best player on the court, and that's Denver with Jokic. That's the only team that could be like, all right, I have the best player. And then the Lakers are gonna be like, well, I got 2 out of the top 3, and also I got Austin Reeves over here.
A Swiss
That's
Army
tough.
knife.
That's tough. Like there's like in a playoff series, you would rather have LeBron and Luka.
With your
Instead of
third option,
anybody.
with your third option being AR. There's not a lot of good third options out here in the West. Besides, I'm gonna be real. The Clippers, they have a great third option.
Yeah.
OKC doesn't really have a third option. Houston don't even really got a third option like that. I'm gonna be
Damn,
honest with
that's
you.
tough. Now my head is spinning. In a playoff series, who you taking?
Denver and
Steph
their
or
third
Shea?
option.
I'm not gonna lie, Austin Reeves is getting underpaid for what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad we got him on that contract. So we was able to, get
You gotta
some.
pay
I,
option for 2026.
all right, so since he's talking about it, let's do a top 5. Top 5 players going into the playoffs in the West and in the East.
Top 5
All right, but
players.
what are you you can't base it off playoff performance just yet.
Nah, it's not
Because-
about playoff
But let's say-
performance.
let-
It's who would you rather have?
Okay.
So in the West, you got Luka.
Number 1.
No, number 1, Jokic.
Nah, yeah, you're going
Number 2,
Number-
Luka.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna have to go LeBron just based
even
on
over
experience.
Steph Curry too.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I would do Steph 4th, Shea 5th.
Steph 4th. Nah, I'm gonna be real. 5th. You want me to be real with you? I'm gonna fuck y'all up with this. And
Might even put him a little bit higher.
Yeah, I'm not
The way
it's tough.
the way he kind of
I can't put him
well in
third.
the Western Conference, but
I can't put him third yet because all those players that I named either made the finals and won it, or they actually had a deep playoff.
Nah,
run.
that's
Last year
tough.
was his only deep playoff run.
Nah, but what nobody's talking about is the legacy runs that like this is gonna build some people's legacies. Like all right, for example, LeBron, he wins his 5th chip. All those people that don't think that he's the GOAT, they might change their mind. How about if Stephen Curry wins his 5th championship?
They're gonna try to say he's better than Bron.
That would be crazy. Like, does Steph become a top 10, top 5 player if he wins a chip?
They put him in the GOAT for that.
He's already a top 10
They're gonna put
player
him in
all
the GOAT
time.
conversation behind that, bro. There's already people that have already stated if Steph wins a 5th before Bron, they're gonna start kicking Bron out.
And what happens if Jokic wins another chip? How about if Kawhi Leonard wins another championship? He'll have a championship in 3 different cities.
How about if Ime
and he won a champion? He would have won a championship at Toronto and the Clippers, their first championship ever.
Yeah, you got it.
Those are some legacy runs. Like, where does Kawhi go? Is he a top 15 player? Is he above KD? Like, those are real conversations. Is he above Scottie Pippen? Like, those are real conversations. If he wins another championship, that's tough.
What if Ime Udoka wins one?
Nah, that would be crazy.
If he wins a championship,
nah, I'll say this:
you start looking back at the Celtics like, yeah, y'all won one, but this was the guy.
I'll say this: Ime Udoka is one of the best coaches in the NBA. Nobody convinces me that he's not. Him and JJ Redick. Like, the runs that they're going on right now, like, especially, like, first Udoka did it with the Celtics, but now he's doing it with the Houston Rockets.
In 2 years, he transformed that whole
That's
team.
crazy.
In 2 years. And it's kind of crazy considering how he left with the Celtics. You know, we still don't even know who the woman it was that he messed with.
Nah, he messed with somebody.
That's what I'm saying. But she was a high-ranking official within the Celtics organization.
I'm not lying. It was somebody's wife.
I'm saying. It was somebody's wife, but we still don't even know the identity of who this woman is. We know Ime did it. He lost his wife. He lost his child within that. It just went bad for him.
Crazy.
And now he reinvented himself in Houston, which ironic as hell because you know what's in Houston. Come on now. You know, they make it rain in there.
Time out. What's in Houston?
This is a kid-friendly show. We're going to keep it as that, all right? Anyways, but the fact that they sent Ime to Houston where there was no Harden, Houston was basically trying to find a new identity, and then he revamped that team. They're second in the West. They might make some noise, and if he wins the championship, he could literally look at everybody and go, kiss my you-know-what, and look at how great of a coach I am because look at what I did with this team right here. Because you got a baby Jokic. You got a mini, I'm not going to call him a Kobe yet, but you got a mini bucket getter in Jalen Green, where if he becomes consistent, he could be a top 5 player within this league within the next few years. I'm gonna be honest.
He's not efficient enough.
Yeah, he's not consistent as well too. So, Ime, shout out to you. And like he said, there's a lot of legacy stories going on with Kawhi, with LeBron, with Steph, with Jokic, even Ant-Man himself. If Ant-Man could go ahead and go back into the Western Conference Finals or make a Finals, you got to give Ant his respect because nobody expected Ant to do that, especially with the loss of Karl Anthony Towns. So, shout out to, you know what?
I do have a gift for y'all, though. I'm going to give you my parlay on who's advancing through the playoff series.
Let me hear it.
All right, so first off, you got the Bucks against the Pacers.
Right.
I'm taking the Bucks at plus 166.
Even without Dame?
Even without Dame, I'll take them. Plus 166.
Not bad.
Money right there. And then you're going to pair that with the Lakers to beat the Timberwolves at minus 196. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you're going to do the Clippers to beat Denver. So right there, just those 3 is at plus 711.
If you bold like you say, you should put the Pistons to win against the Knicks since they got the best
absolutely
player, right?
not. The Knicks. I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it. The Knicks.
You was over here raving so hard about Cade.
The one that I will add is the Warriors to beat Houston. But this one might go crazy. But if the Warriors face OKC, I would also put the like if they lose against Memphis, they would be the 8th seed. My parlay would be Warriors, Bucks, Clippers, Lakers, all to advance.
I'm not mad at those picks. I'm gonna be honest. The only shaky one for me It's just the Bucks, and that's because of the way the Pacers handled them last year. But then I start thinking back, Giannis didn't play that series, and Dame only played 2 or 3 games that series as well too.
Nah, they don't got an answer for Giannis.
Yeah, but then also you got to remember the Pacers is one of the fast-paced teams within the league. Yeah. They score at a high clip, bro. And then you got Tyrese Halliburton. And listen, I hate Pascal Siakam. He cost me a lot of money on parlays, but you have Tyrese Halliburton. You have Pascal. You have Benedict Mathurin. You have Miles Turner. You have Neesmith. You have Nembhard. They got some.
They got a squad.
Obi Toppin. You got McConnell. Like there's a lot of great players out there that play their role well.
The thing is like, yo, when I look at playoff series, you take who has the best player.
Right.
If the teams are even, you take who has the best player.
Not only just that, but you can take the best player. Sometimes momentum goes a long way.
Yeah.
Not only that,
you can have key players that are not superstars, but play well enough to compensate for any, superstars who don't play well.
But then you can also have the best player, and then his supporting cast is not doing nothing around him. And we've, as LeBron fans, you've seen it. All right.
So if let's say Luka and LeBron play well, but then Austin Reeves and everybody else,
that's gonna hurt us.
Shit the bed. Then
that's gonna hurt us a lot. Exactly. That's really gonna hurt us. But
nah, I'm not like
we're not thinking that way. All right, we got faithful.
The Timberwolves have no scoring threats besides Ant-Man.
I'm be ready.
Rudy Gobert, man. Come on, stop playing with my boy.
Be real. The most overhyped player in NBA history. The amount of money that man has made playing basketball needs to be studied.
By the way, I hope you know I have a friend that I'm in a chat with. He swears up and down Rudy Gobert is elite and that I'm a casual. Listen, if y'all think Rudy Gobert is elite, write it in the chat. No.
Defense-wise,
no, because he gets exposed every year.
Yo, when he actually has, when you put Rudy Gobert on an island, he gets cooked.
Not only that,
there's any big
forget an island, just perimeter. Period. He can't hold nothing down.
There's a lot of big men. Sometimes.
No, you didn't see that with prime Dwight Howard. You didn't see that with prime Hakeem. You didn't see that with prime KG.
Different beats.
Anthony Davis.
The reason why I bring them up is because he has more defensive player of the years than those people I named.
I know.
So how are you telling me he's a better defensive player than those three? I just want to know how they can hold their ground
what's going on. Like the Timberwolves, the Timberwolves were trying to sabotage the deal for A-Rod to buy them because they're like, you know what, we got Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. They said, yo, let's trade to Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep, a Dominican player.
Nah, I don't even think it was about race. It was just about stupidity.
I'm gonna make it about race. That's crazy.
Yo, Rudy Gobert is insane. Yeah, and giving him that deal and trading all those picks, you just set back your team for
wasn't one of those picks
years.
The center in Walker Kessler?
Yeah,
so you could have got a rim protector had you just waited. Meanwhile, you got a stud named Naz Reid on the bench. Who's been waiting to ball out.
That's the thing with picks.
A New Jersey product.
So you can't really determine if those picks
Jelly fan, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Pan out, you know what I'm saying? So that's why trades happen all the time with picks.
And Naz Reid is going to get paid.
Yes, he is.
I hate teams who hoard picks, personally.
So, OKC, you hate them?
Not necessarily because there's...
they draft.
They have a different... They have a specific strategy that they build on. For
but they're about to use some of those picks...
to get killed,
and then a lot of
or somebody else. They have to. What if Giannis demands a trade? There's gonna be players available. I don't know if Giannis is gonna. Milwaukee might blow it up. Denver is gonna blow it up.
Giannis
Phoenix is gonna blow it up.
Giannis said he wants to go to a big market though. So I don't think he wants to go to
New York. Go New York.
Yeah,
go New York.
He talked about that too.
Nah, he will change the city forever.
Me personally, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. If KD didn't come the first time, no need for him to come now. Straight up.
That's how you feel.
Nah, that's crazy.
So if he sits there,
I will take KD in a heartbeat.
I'll accept him. But you had the decision to come to the Knicks the first time, and you talked a lot of shit about the Knicks, saying that Brooklyn's a place to play.
Right.
In New York.
It's not a Knicks town.
Yeah, it's not a Knicks town. And look what happened.
Crazy.
That's because Kyrie got in his head. Yeah. That's all it really was.
Now that you see our team is popping,
I'm not like that.
Well, now you want to come?
They lucky that Nets team didn't stay healthy. That Nets team would stay healthy.
And I'm gonna be real. That Nets team, if they stay healthy, there's no Giannis chip. Giannis leaves earlier than.
They only play 14 games.
Yo, KD almost beat him by himself. That's crazy. KD almost beat him by himself.
That's why I tell a lot of people, they won that ring.
That might have been prime KD. I'm not that.
First off, was crazy. You had no Kyrie that series. James Harden was playing on one leg. KD was by himself. You had old-ass Blake Griffin playing the power forward position. And LaMarcus Aldridge as your center.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
What a senior citizen team. That team in their prime, if all the players were in their prime.
The greatest team of all time.
Yo.
I think also the 2017 Cavs team, if they were all in their prime, that would have been the most lethal team LeBron has ever been.
And the crazy part about it is that the Nets' big three.
Remember that Darren Williams off the bench.
You heard the Nets' big three? So James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. They played 16 games together.
It was 13-3.
13-3 in those 16 games.
Yo, it's crazy because if you look at the games that him and James Harden alone played together, or him and KD alone, or when James Harden, when only two of them played, they were basically unstoppable.
Yeah, it was James Harden and KD.
Nah, that might be the most skilled trio in NBA history.
One time I went to a playoff.
That is actually the most skilled trio in NBA history. Like, there's never been a trio that could dribble, shoot. Yo,
you crazy.
Who?
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant.
That's not more skilled than Kyrie, James Harden, and KD. So the KDs cancel each other out. Who's more skilled, Kyrie or Steph?
They kind of go neck and neck, bro.
I bet. Who's more skilled, James Harden or Klay?
James easily, but what Klay lacks in, what Klay lacks in, he picks up in the defense. Prime
I'm saying skilled, skill-wise.
Skill-wise.
Like dribbling, passing, shooting.
Yeah, but Harden was a 1 mixed with a 2. Klay was strictly
I'm not like James Harden.
Klay has 60 points on 11
James Harden has the rope. He could shoot.
That's cool. I seen Klay score 37 in 1 quarter.
That's cool. I've seen James Harden had a 60-point triple-double.
That's by himself, not with the other 2 players.
60-point triple-double.
I've seen Klay go ahead and give you 14 threes and
I'm not like, there's no question that that's the most skilled trio in NBA history.
I don't know.
Just pure skill, basketball skill.
Trio?
Just skill, like pure basketball
I have
skill.
to agree with Time Mason on this one. I think
just pure skill.
That Nets team is...
That Nets team,
trio?
If they
yo, like that's like the team that, like, yo, like literally, like they will shut down Rutgers or Dykeman or whatever. Like they pull up the 3 of them, and people would just want to watch them play.
You probably got the most skilled point guard ever in Kyrie Irving.
I'll give you that.
Probably one of the best scoring shooting guards in our generation. And James Harden. Kevin Durant, for sure, top 10 scorer of all time.
And yo, you could even make the argument that James Harden might be one of the most skilled shooting guards ever.
What's crazy
because like who has handle like him, that step back, and like there's certain aspects of basketball. Basketball is just like skills are this, like drawing fouls. That's a skill.
I agree.
And he mastered that.
It's so crazy they had to make a rule to stop him from
literally.
His free throws went down.
Like that skill is just not like how you dribble, how you shoot. Like it's the way you play your basketball. Like they studied their craft. Like they perfected their craft.
What makes
like
it funny?
Seeing Kyrie make layups, like that's art.
Yeah,
I think the most impressive thing is seeing step back threes the way James.
Hold on, wait. What makes that trio so crazy was the fact that when James joined, the first thing that was said was Kyrie was like, "You're the point guard. I'm the 2." Think about that. And Harden accepted that role. So imagine if it would have been the other way around.
Yeah,
I don't think it would have worked the way that it did.
I don't know how controversial this might sound, but I went to a Nets game one time versus the Bucks, and a fan said, "Yo, watch Kyrie not play the next game because he's gonna worry about something in Africa that has nothing to do with it."
Now your fans are crazy.
I'm like, yo, at least he's playing for you guys right now.
Right, like over here.
Your word.
But they got smoked by the Bucks that game.
How about you tell your experience about being in Philly for Game 7 with Ben Simmons?
Nah, they go for...
Ben Simmons...
He was there for that. He was
there
there for the game when he tossed it.
I'm not lying. I'm one of those people. I thought Ben Simmons was going to be the...
He was the next LeBron /
I've never
Magic.
seen so many people boo someone like the way they did for Ben Simmons.
Nah, I'm not lying though. Like
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yo, they were even
mind you, they was down 2. They
I'm
wasn't
not
down
lying
30.
though. Like it sounds crazy, but they destroyed that man. Like,
I'm not lying.
He's never been the same.
I seen Joel Embiid play twice, and I'm not lying. He's probably one of the best scoring big men I've seen. This guy was shooting mid ranges like nothing.
I'm not lying.
He's elite.
You want to talk about skill? Like that's one big man that has skill. Like Jokic got skill, but Joel Embiid,
man, he's always
Joel Embiid got scoring skill. Like he's tough.
He's just always.
I wish he might end up being like one of the biggest like what ifs. Like he just could never stay healthy.
I know we on time, but I just want to say people on TikTok comments are saying podcasting isn't for everyone. Hope you have a backup plan. So, is there anything you guys want to say to those type of people?
I mean, you know what? I appreciate the motivation.
Yeah,
thank you for that. You know what? It took time out your day to comment that, which means you watch these videos, which also means You gave us views, so appreciate you for that, bro.
Nah, podcast.
Negativity or not, bro. Publicity is publicity. We appreciate that. You feel me? Recognition is recognition. Thank you for that, bro. And it's okay. I'm not mad at that at
You
all.
can't be mad. It's just
Word. I appreciate that. You know what? Criticism is gonna come. It is what it is. Can't be upset at that at all. But we did talk about the seedings. We did talk about everything that's happening, and we also talked about, obviously, what's gonna be, who you have winning the championship, and basically who you have being upsetted and stuff of that nature. So we will talk about the off-season, type of acquisitions and moves that could be made. So we did talk about Kevin Durant possibly being moved from Phoenix, as you can see. Phoenix ended up firing Coach Bud today. They also
Can't believe they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, Kevin Durant didn't make the playoffs.
But that was a horrible fit. Like,
I do think that this offseason you're gonna see a lot of trades as compared to free agency acquisitions, because we're seeing that this free agent class is actually weak compared to the previous years. So we're seeing teams with a lot of draft capitals who are willing to use them to get the player they want. Because we're trying to win now.
And this is also a great draft. Like, there's gonna be teams that are gonna be put in some tough positions. There's been rumors about LaMelo Ball being traded.
Yeah,
but what if the Hornets get the first pick and they get Cooper Flag?
His coach did come out and said that.
Like, if the Hornets get Cooper Flag to pair with LaMelo.
But it also depends if the Hornets want to pay him the bag, though.
Do you want to get... Because then you also have Miles Bridges at the 3. You also got Brandon Miller.
They would definitely move some people around. Like, Cooper Flag is a once-in-a-generation type player. Like,
No, I'm saying you go after him, but who do you get rid of?
He's probably the best college freshman since Anthony Davis.
I just do think you're going to see a lot of trades that is not going to make sense in the offseason.
You're crazy for that take, by the way.
You heard?
What?
You said since Anthony Davis.
Well,
Cooper Flag is the best freshman since Anthony Davis.
So Tatum doesn't come to mind.
He's better than Tatum.
I mean, Tatum was not considered the best player at the time.
He wasn't even a top.
Got drafted too.
Yeah, I know, but
He wasn't. Cooper Flag.
Paolo Banchero
Nobody has mentioned anybody else but
Zion
Cooper Flag as the number one pick.
Zion Williamson.
At Duke, who was better, Zion or Cooper?
Zion was that.
You're crazy. Cooper Flag won every single award. He won the Player of the
Zion
Year.
was a more hyped
Freshman of the Year.
saying,
Nah, he was more
super hyped.
That's
bro.
cool. I'm not saying hyped. I'm saying who was better.
They both
Cooper
had the
Flag-
same type of number.
Nah, Cooper
Zion
Flag
Williamson
was better than
compared to
Exactly.
LeBron James.
Like, what are we talking about?
but Cooper Flag was still better.
I know.
Cooper Flag, and he had all the accolades. He won the Player of the Year. He won his conference.
Didn't Zion win Player of the Year?
I don't even
He
know.
did not. He did not that
I think
year.
he got hurt.
He had.
He missed a couple of
I could have
years.
sworn he did.
Nah, but Cooper Flag probably best freshman since Anthony Davis. If he would have closed it out and won the chip, he was just short on that jump stop.
He won the AP Player of the Year.
Exactly.
Zion Williamson. And the Karl Malone Award. He also earned ACC Player of the Year, ACC Athlete of the Year.
Look at that.
Who won the
ACC
Naismith Player of the Year?
He won. He won it.
I'm not lying. I'll stay. Cooper's.
He won the John R. Wooden Award, National Player of the
Zion
Year,
Williamson.
and the Naismith
Nah, that's
Award,
cool.
National Player of the Year.
Nah, that's cool, but he's a more complete player than Zion in college. Cooper, he dribbles better, shoots better, defends better. He's a more complete player.
But you just said the most hyped.
I did not. I said he was the best player. I said he was the best player coming out of
Since
college as Anthony
Anthony
Davis.
Davis, bro.
Yes. Anthony Davis, what?
He won the chip, yes, but I'm saying that there was other.
He
great
won
players.
every single award.
I'm saying there was great players after AD, bro.
Now, there was great players, but I'm saying he's the best since that.
I don't think so. That's kind of.
I mean, you could also say that he's the best since Zion, but I would say that he's better than Zion. Coming out of college, if they were both in the same draft class, I would pick Cooper.
The only downside for Zion is he can't stay healthy. But what he's
But at
average,
Duke, he was healthy. At Duke, he was
8
healthy.
and 6, bro. Like, you act like Zion has been putting up plumber numbers.
Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I would rather have Cooper.
All right.
I would take Cooper right now over Zion.
I mean, a healthy Zion, I'll take him any day of the
That's what
week.
I'm saying, bro.
If he's
going on his
body
legs
weight
right
control.
now, bro.
He's not.
No, but
he's not. So I'd rather have Cooper.
Of course, but I'm saying if the possibility of him having his body weight on control, yeah.
Which this year he did pretty well on. He went down to around 260.
And he played well, very well.
Yeah, exactly. He did all right.
I still take Cooper, man.
Yeah, you crazy. as hell for
Cooper,
that.
Cooper defends, dribbles, shoots. Like, he's a complete basketball player. Don't get me wrong. If Zion was healthy, but he's never healthy.
So as great as Cooper was, he ended up not being able to capture the NCAA championship. Instead, Florida ended up becoming the winners of the NCAA championship. How do you feel that, one, this affects the University of Florida, and two, do you think that they repeat next year?
And the crazy part about it is that the Florida team had two Iona College.
That's kind of crazy.
Students.
Nah, I'm not lying. Walter Clayton Jr., he is the truth. He should, like, I'm not saying draft him top 10, but
He's a lefty, right?
Nah, he's a righty.
Righty?
But if you have like a top 20 pick and you're on the fence about players, like, yo, that man is a bucket. Like, he makes tough shots. Like, the shots that he makes are crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, he makes Stephen Curry level shots. Like, he is the truth.
Iona really had this kid for 2 years.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, imagine if Patino would have got him to go to St. John's instead of Florida. Woo!
Now we're seeing a lot of kids.
Oh, wait, a fun fact, though. He became the first player since Larry Bird in 1979 to score 30 points in both the Elite Eight and the National Semifinals.
Yeah, I'm not like Houston baited, though. They should have won that game. I was rooting for Houston and Calvin Sampson, and they had a squad this year.
Do you think?
And they're gonna have a squad next year too. Like, a lot of people think that they're gonna be the number 1 ranked team going into next season. Now, Houston. But like, honestly, college basketball is changing, man. The NIL is changing.
There's
you transfer portals.
There's also rumors swirling that Ian Jackson, kid from the Bronx, plays with North Carolina.
Yeah, he's tough.
Supposedly, rumors he's going to St. John's.
Really? To go play with Patino?
Nah, if he goes to St. John's, they're going to be a problems. So they already have 2 former 5-star recruits, including Brees Hopkins, tough from the Big East.
So that's where I want to bring up this question. What you guys think about the state of New York basketball now?
If he comes to St. John's, it changes the landscape for New York basketball.
Patino changed St. John's forever. Like if he finishes his career here, I see him winning a championship.
Well, he already
think about it. Like, let's be honest. This last St. John's team is gonna be the least talented St. John's team that he's gonna have for the next decade.
Because the problem is now colleges, they're not gonna go for high school seniors.
Yeah,
freshman players.
He was like,
they're going for already established players.
He said, they told Patino, if a 5-star recruit tells you, hey, you got a spot for me next year? He's like, no, I wouldn't take him.
I want to win.
He's like, he doesn't think that he could win with freshmen. And I was just like, wow.
Now, you're not only seeing that in basketball, you're also seeing that in football with Coach Prime saying the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't need to recruit none of these high school kids. So
don't get me wrong, though. Like, there's still that top of the tier talent. Like, for example, Cooper Flagg. Yeah, if Rick Pitino had the chance,
of course,
Cooper Flagg would have been on that team.
Of course.
So like that's the part where like be careful just because like you want some of these freshmen and some of these top of the line players. Like the crazy thing is like the school that's known for recruiting all these high recruits, Duke hasn't won a chip
in a while,
in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And the last time they won was with freshmen, but do they go back? So it's funny. So Duke first went from, okay, we're not going to get these freshmen because we can't win with freshmen. And then they saw other teams winning with the freshmen. They're like, okay, let's recruit the freshmen. And now it might go back to the fact like, ooh, like, do we want to recruit these freshmen anymore? Like that.
Also, Duke lost his aura once they lost Coach K.
I'm not lying.
Not necessarily because top recruits are still going to do, and they still get drafted top 10.
No, I get that. But when I say like Coach K, remember, majority of those players wanted to go play for Coach K.
Those are select few players who do.
Yeah, I'll say this: Duke was the best team in this NCAA tournament. I think if Duke would have played Florida, they would have beat Florida.
Think so?
I think they just ran into some grown men in Houston that started bullying them boys.
And I think Houston was also tired of us, the public, sitting there saying, they ain't going to do it. They not built like that, trust me.
Yo, I'm telling you, next year, watch out for Houston.
Houston's been building their team for a while.
Yeah, that coach is a great coach. He built a great culture.
Now, how do you feel about Dan Hurley and the UConn Huskies?
Listen, Dan Hurley's one of the best coaches in the league. The Big East right now, they are going to compete. They're going to end up being one of the.
Do you think that
he
was telling the truth when it came to how they were officiating him against Florida, or do you think he just was in his bag?
Nah, he was in his bag, but it doesn't matter. That man could coach.
Dan Hurley's one of the best businessmen. He leveraged the Lakers to get a contract. With
And then ended up signing. Right. That was crazy.
Nah, I think the craziest part is that like, yo, the way he coaches, he cannot coach grown men like professional basketball players. Like they're gonna tell him to go kiss his ass
Easily. Instantly. They're going to be like, who you? What? Bruh, get up on my face.
Nah, but he gave Florida one of the tougher games in the tournament. He gave Florida a good game.
Yes, he did. 100%. Now, with all that said and done, let's move over to the women's side of things. Paige ended up capturing her championship to solidify her UConn career, making Gino one of the all-time winningest coach in NCAA history. And the question has been thrown around, do you think that Gino is one of, or if not, the greatest coach to ever coach basketball? On the collegiate and pro level.
I want to say, I always hold the pro and collegiate differently. Mm-hmm. So I think he could probably go down as the greatest college basketball coach of all time. But, like, it's different to coach
WNBA
professionals.
women,
Not only that, like when you a coach like at UConn, and especially him, like he was coaching some of the greatest women's basketball players of all time.
He built that pedigree though.
Nah, he did, but it's like, yo,
He's been there since 1985.
That's what I'm saying.
but
he's built that from the ground up.
He coached Breonna Stewart, Maya Moore,
And has
Diana
won,
Taurasi, Sue
like
Bird.
yo, like
has won 12
like
NCAA
yo, he's
championships.
like if you
Most
say
all time,
if you say top 10 women's basketball players of all time, yo, he's coached
like 6, 7 of them.
he's coached them all. Like I'm not throwing any hate on him. I said,
hold on, wait, didn't Della Don go over there too?
Who?
Della?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn.
But he's definitely the greatest college basketball coach of all time. Like it's him and Coach K.
Yeah. Do you think that Don will be able to reach him when it's all said and done?
And you know what it is, yo. The thing is that like yo, and especially in like college basketball for women, it's like yo, like it's not like the men's league where anybody can win. Like those top of the tier talented teams, like they always win. Like you don't see an 8th seed or a 9th seed going to like the Final Four like that. Like it's definitely different. Like I think this year all the people that made it to the Final Four over there were 1 and 2 seeds. Same thing as last year. Yo, I'm not lying though. I wish Juju would have been healthy.
Yo,
man.
same.
Yo,
Honestly.
if Juju would have been healthy.
Do you think that she comes back better next year? Or do you think that it's going to be, a halt to it? Because she did tear her ACL, which
it's going to take her some time.
It's
It's going to take her some time, but I think, personally, she's the best women's college basketball player I've ever
currently
seen.
at this moment.
Nah, I'm talking about that I've ever seen. Like
Juju?
like yo,
Dude, what's up with you today?
She's so tough.
Better than Maya Moore?
I'm saying like yo, like she who dribbles like that? You seen somebody doing that
Maya
pull
Moore.
up?
We're not there yet.
Maya Moore.
We're not there
I'm
yet.
Can we
telling you.
stop? Listen, I already had an argument with Francis. You know who you are.
Francis.
All right? I already had an argument with him.
Nah,
because
she's
of this.
tough.
Maya Moore, one of the greatest all time.
Nah,
And
she
everything
is.
that Juju did, Maya did.
I'm not hating or anything. I'm saying yo, like watching her play, like
No, Juju is elite. To me, she's poetry in motion. That's how I look at Juju.
nah, she's
But she's not.
tough.
You said the best all time.
Nah, I'm saying from a talent perspective that I've seen with my own eyes. I've never,
than mine.
at her age, I've never seen somebody move like that.
Brother, Maya Moore, go look up her clips.
Bro, at 18 though?
Yes, go look
at
up her clips, bro.
Yo.
Maya Moore had 3 chips in 4 years.
Gino was not letting her do that. Stop it.
Brother, go look it up. That's why
Gino
I became
was
a
not letting
fan.
her rock.
That's why I became a fan.
Gino was like, nah, Maya, you were in the play. Juju be pulling up from 30. Like, yo, like, this is on me. What?
Bro, I seen Maya Moore pull her hamstring, get out the game, get on the bike, look at Coach Gino like, I'll be back in the next quarter, and do the same thing that Juju
Nah,
did,
it's
even
cool. Like, time will tell. Like, I'm not saying that she's gonna be the greatest women's basketball player ever. I'm saying that, like, at her age, she's one of the best
impressive,
I've
yes.
ever-
I'm not disagreeing with that. But to say that she's the best talent,
She literally
crazy.
She had the best freshman season ever.
okay, yes. Great freshman season.
And in my eyes,
100%.
she's a complete basketball. Excuse me.
She
She's
does.
a
She plays all around, which she
Yeah.
does, 100%.
Nah,
I do
she's-
give her that. To me, I'll be honest with you. I like her game better than Caitlin Clark's.
Yeah.
I definitely do like her game better than
I'm
Caitlin
like,
Clark's.
Caitlin Clark's tough, but I'll take Juju over her.
Right. But on the last thing that I did want to ask you, though, Paige did end up getting that championship, and we did talk about Gino.
Another
How do
one.
you think?
She's tough.
Yeah, I love Paige.
Okay.
And also, she went through the same thing that Juju went through. Torn
Yeah.
ACL, came back.
Yeah, she
ended
got
up winning her
twice.
Right.
Twice.
I think one of
that
the
was
injuries is a torn ACL.
yeah, and that
That
was
and a torn Achilles.
That was so resilient by her. Like, congratulations. Like, first of all, nobody's even talking about it. Like, she was the underdog in that
Super
game.
underdog.
Like, they were 6.5 point underdogs, and honestly, what they did, super impressive. She is tough. She deserves to be the number 1 overall pick.
How do you think she's gonna pan out in the WNBA?
Oh, I think she's the truth. She's gonna be a.
She would just transition well.
Yeah, you
She
think so?
will be a future Hall of Famer. I think she's right up there with Caitlin Clark as potential
I can
wise.
see that.
She like Caitlin might be better, but Paige is not that
She's
far
a mix
behind.
of Caitlyn and Sabrina. That's how I look at her.
Nah, word. That's
she's a
actually a
mix.
perfect comparison. I think she's tough.
She's a super mix. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for here today. We appreciate y'all for tuning in on episode 3. Like I said before, go like, subscribe, repost us, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Twitch. Doesn't matter. Any type of social media platform that we have, make
On
sure
every
that you go
platform,
ahead.
guys.
Right, every platform. Y'all can also listen to us on Apple and Spotify. And like
where
I said,
are
ladies
we
and
on?
gentlemen, we will be coming here consistently, and we will be here every week debating and giving y'all a show.
And I'm not taking off this Knicks sweater until they lose
All right. And
or
like you
win the
said,
chip.
So if he stinks and if you see me on this side, y'all know why. All right. Anyways, we appreciate
Thank you.
y'all. Jaren's out, Ty's out. See y'all next week. That was a better outro than before, I'll be honest with you.